If I had a boat, I'd go out on the ocean. If I had a pony, I would ride on my boat.
So it's brilliant that you're all here tonight for the launch of House Whisper by Georg Peterseil. And here to formally launch the book is Georg's very good friend, Margot Durkin, who also happens to be my sister, and I think it's the very first time I've ever introduced her formally in the Linenhall. So, round of applause for Margot Durkin.
Good evening, everybody, and it's fantastic to see such a big turnout. I was saying to myself today, the weather is so bad, there'll probably be nobody there and I'll be totally relaxed. So I'd like to welcome you all here this evening. It gives me great pleasure because Georg is a special friend of mine. I'm part of a community of writers with him, and also I'm part of the parish out there, so we're doubly connected as neighbours. My name is Margot Durkin, as Marie has said, and I first came in touch with Georg and Bettina as well through their writing workshops. They opened up their home and their hearts to the community by inviting people in to be able to express themselves creatively, with their creativity in whatever way, mostly with music and writing and chanting. And I say there's a lot of people here this evening who would have experienced their welcome and the safe place that they create for us all in the community. Over the Christmas, I got a lovely book of poetry, the Seamus Heaney early collection of his work, and I was very struck with Seamus Heaney's connection to the earth, the land and the bog. It's an ongoing theme in all his work. And at the same time I was reading Georg's book, and I was struck that Georg was going on the exact same journey as Seamus Heaney in going through the layers, and in going through the layers of the bog and the earth, he was also going through the layers of his own psyche and his own soul and coming to discover aspects of himself. He tells his story using examples from his work as an architect and a shaman. As he digs deeper, he uncovers ancient depths of culture and consciousness. Here in the bog, he can explore his origins, free from cultural limitations. He can make sense of his own history as the landscape reflects back his own internal landscape. I want to congratulate Georg on producing this book. It has made me question my own relationship to the land and the importance of sensitivity to our particular place on the planet. I was reminded of the Celtic wheel or the spiral when I thought of Georg and Bettina deciding to build their home on the bog in 1984. Then it was a bare, desolate place where no one had lived since the famine times. Now it is transformed, it's alive again, full of flowers, trees and wildlife, ready now to reclaim, I think, and honour its ancient name, Derreen Mornish, meaning the small oak wood of Monas. Truly the wheel has come around full circle, and I feel the old Celtic gods must be smiling now to see the swans. And Niamh was just telling me there that she was over yesterday to see the Hooper swans that are they migrating or coming in? They're going to Siberia. They've come in from Siberia, and they're on the lake in front of Georg's and Bettina's home, and they have created that space for the swans and for the community. And I just want to say how grateful I am personally for that. And I'm very, very pleased to introduce Georg's wonderful book. And I hope you'll all be able to get a chance to read it. Thank you very much.
Good evening. I thought, before I say anything, that we connect together to the space here, and I invite you to close your eyes and feel your body, feel sensations in your body, be aware of your breath, of your heart pumping, your feet connected to the floor and the earth below. And now I invite you to sense your neighbor's energy field. And this big space of this hall. And of us all together here, having left behind the stormy weather outside and any problems during the day probably. And being aware that we are connected now here together and connected with this space. And when you are ready, come back into your physical body and open your eyes. And now I want to start thanking especially the Linenhall and Maria and the Linenhall staff for your generosity and for staging this event, and also for your support of our family over the years. And I want to thank my friend Margot for your speech and for appreciating me and Bettina. And my friend Gerd, and also my guitar teacher. And I find it genial, the song you picked. If I had a boat, I'd go out on the ocean. And if I had a pony, I'd ride him on the boat. What I love about it is that I see in the ocean the soul, and the soul daring to go out to be the ocean, or we connecting with the ocean, and which is always an adventure, and the impossible becomes possible. Riding the pony on my boat. And I thank all of you for coming. I'm so overwhelmed. I never thought, even I'm an optimist. I never thought that so many would come. So thank you very much, despite all the weather and so. I started to write the book. Writing the book started with the idea of writing about the subject of energy of places. So I wrote some 6-7 pages, and then nothing came anymore. And for the almost next 2 years, I still sat down every day and just created a space for myself and focused on writing. And in this space I encountered my fear of writing about the subject and the reactions people might have. And I also encountered a space of stillness where no words came at all. And after 2 years, there was the idea of writing this book. And when I started writing, I had the idea that this book was already written on an energetic level. I kind of only had to bring it down into a physical reality. And after that, so I wrote for a year, I edited for a year, which actually was much longer than I thought. And then a few months of publishing process. I'm telling this story because I see a direct parallel to connecting to the energy of a place. First, there's the seed of an idea, and the spirit of a place is this matrix, this building plan, out of which material things start to manifest. And when we bring in negative energy, then this negative energy will manifest. So I will give you a few tasters of the book. Now, the book is about intimate relationships. A musician creates an intimate relationship with his instrument. A singer with her voice, an IT specialist with her computer, and a fisherman with the sea. I, as an architect, choose to create this deeper relationship with houses and places. Whatever we love passionately brings us home to ourselves. We are always in a place and always surrounded by space. But how often are we aware of the place we have chosen to inhabit, even if only for a moment? Have you ever thought of getting in contact with a place as a way of communicating with it, or even creating a relationship with it? When we enter a room, we are keen to find our own place. When we are with a group of people, we long to belong. In fact, we spend our whole lives longing to find our place in this world and a sense of belonging to it. This book gives also exercises, and it's in relation, and I also tell my personal story. And the reason I did this was because living my own life, I encountered the obstacles. I first encountered the obstacles to sensing the energies. So the first part is about the obstacle to connecting to energies and the spirit of places and our own energy field. And when we came here, we first lived in a caravan. And I did not want to live another winter in the caravan. I longed for a house which would give me shelter and protection from the rain and storms. As we built it in timber, I loved the play of light and shadows as the sun streamed into the inner space through the beams and posts of future walls and ceilings. When we were ready to cover both walls and ceilings with timber boards and felt, I still remember the deep disappointment I experienced as the space got darker with every board we added. I learned that a house is not the same as a home. It is the relationship between ourselves and the spirit of a place that transforms a house and place into a home. It is the relationship between ourselves and the spirit of a place that transforms a house and place into a home. I give instructions for you that you are able to connect step by step with the spirit of your home place as well. And as an architect, For a couple of years, I always worked with the spirit of the place, and the place supported me, both in the building process and in the design process. And out of this cooperation, the harmonious process always developed. I give you an example. This is a land. The client was English who lived here, and he was considering buying land with an old house and the remains of stables. And here is part of the communication with the spirit of the place. I meet the spirit who introduces himself as the hunchback of Kogola. He tells me that the spirit was broken by the English landlord, like the stone 2 feet below the surface of the land. I listen carefully and accept what he is telling me. Suddenly and unexpectedly, he stands proud and straight, open to the sun, like the center part of my house design, with arms wide outstretched, holding the past and honoring it. How come you suddenly stand so straight, I ask. And at the end of the communication, he finishes by saying that my client will be healed as well. He is as broken as I was. And I took this example because it shows both the spirit healed and the spirit broken. And the healing process or the transformation process by just communicating with the spirit and accepting the pain that is there. So we are coming to an end. At the same time, this is also the beginning of a never-ending journey about our connection with the earth and the universe. Once we have opened the door into the invisible reality of energy, we have set out on an adventure into our own inner universe. When we follow the call of our soul, life becomes inevitably an adventure. I wish you a happy new year and that you follow your soul. And I would love if Georg could sing this song again with the pony on the ocean, on the boat.
If I had a boat, I'd go out on the ocean. If I had a pony, I would ride on my boat. We could all together go out on the ocean, me upon my pony on my boat. If I were Roy Rogers, sure enough be single, wouldn't bring myself to marry an old toad. Just be me and Trigger, right through all these movies, find a boat and sail the Chevron.